Transfer news Live. Tottenham make Lingard move, Vlahovic to Arsenal. Transfer news, Live. Tottenham have reportedly made contact with Jesse Lingard as they seek to beat London rivals West Ham to his signature either this month or in the summer. Spurs are also believed to be in talks with Wolves over a £20 million deal for Adama Traore, with Antonio Conte making his transfer plans crystal clear to the club as they contend with Ajax interest in Steven Bergwijn. On the other side of North London, Arsenal are pressing ahead with a £58 million move for Fiorentina marksman Dusan Vlahovic, with Crystal Palace hoping to benefit from that deal by signing Edin Nketiah. Mikel Arteta is also said to be an admirer of Leicester star Youri Tielemans, while both Arsenal and Newcastle are being linked with former Liverpool midfielder Jorginho Wijnaldum. Jonathan David continues to be mentioned in connection with a switch to the Premier League, and Chelsea are stepping up their attempts to recall Emerson Palmieri from Lyon, while Folarin Balogun is leaving Arsenal for Middlesbrough on loan. Erling Haaland is set to make a decision over his Borussia Dortmund future soon, and an apparently unhappy Cristiano Ronaldo has been linked with Barcelona. Follow the latest January transfer updates with Standard Sports live blog below. Chelsea midfielder Lewis Baker could be about to revitalise his career in the Championship. The Press Association report that playoff chasing Stoke are leading the race for the former England under-21 midfielder, who could potentially leave Stamford Bridge on a free transfer this month. Baker came off the bench in Chelsea's 5-1 FA Cup win over non-league Chesterfield on Saturday, his first senior appearance for the club in a staggering 8 years. The 26-year-old is out of contract in the summer and has previously spent time out on loan at Sheffield Wednesday, MK Dons, Vitesse, Middlesbrough, Leeds, Reading, Fortuna Düsseldorf and Trabzonspor. Apologies to those Newcastle fans who were holding out hope regarding a January return for Jorginho Wijnaldum. Football Insider are now reporting that the former Liverpool midfielder is not interested in a switch back to St James Park this month. There is plenty of Premier League interest in Wijnaldum, who has indicated his desire to return to the English top flight after a disappointing spell following his summer move from Liverpool to Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal have also been credited with an interest in the Dutch international as they target midfield reinforcements. Jesse Lingard has been linked with a return to West Ham this month, but could he move to their London rivals instead? According to Football.London, Tottenham have made contact with the Manchester United midfield's camp over a possible switch to N17. Spurs are apparently open to a deal now, or they could wait to sign Lingard on a free transfer in the summer when his current United deal expires. Folarin Balogun's loan move to Middlesbrough is imminent. The Championship club have won the race to sign Arsenal's highly rated young forward for the remainder of the season. According to Fabrizio Romano, Balogun has now passed his medical on Teesside, with final paperwork set to be completed. West Ham boss David Moyes says he's still looking to add cover at centre-back this month despite Kurt Zouma's imminent return from injury, writes Jack Rosser. The Hammers have been boosted by the news, revealed yesterday, that Zouma is set to return ahead of schedule from his hamstring injury sustained in early December against former club Chelsea. It was expected that Zouma would be out until February, but the France international is now targeting a return against Manchester United next week. Moyes, however, will also be without Angelo Ogbonna until the end of the season and is still on the hunt for a new face at the back. Kurt is doing well, said Moyes. I couldn't give you an idea of exactly when he's going to back, but I have to say he is doing well, and I am looking forward to getting him back shortly if I can. Click here to read the full story. Tottenham head coach Antonio Conte has revealed he has made his recommendations to Daniel Levy and Fabio Paratici for the January transfer window and says it is now down to the club to take the best decisions, writes Dan Kilpatrick. Conte asked the club for 2 months to assess the level of his squad and says he had a good meeting with Levy, the Spurs chairman, and managing director Paratici. Among the players who could leave Spurs this month are Steven Bergwijn and Tanguy Ndombele, but Conte insisted he was counting on the Dutch forward while refusing to publicly comment on Ndombele's situation. Conte placed the emphasis on Levy and Paratici to act on his recommendations in the market, saying the club would have the last word on transfers. We have spoken about the situation. It was a good meeting, Conte said on Tuesday. The owner Levy and Paratici started this season together. I arrived in the middle of the season and they know the situation much better than me. It was a good meeting to speak and tell them my thoughts after 2 months in Tottenham. Click here to read the full article. Crystal Palace have entered talks to sign Edin Nketiah, but any potential deal could hinge on whether Arsenal sign Dusan Vlahovic, writes Jack Rosser. Nketiah is out of contract at Arsenal at the end of the season and looks set to leave Emirates Stadium after turning down a new deal. Palace tried to sign Kataya last summer, but the deal collapsed, and they instead moved to bring in Odsonne Edouard in a £15 million transfer from Celtic. Eagles manager Patrick Vieira wants to revisit a move for the England under-21 international, but his departure from Arsenal would leave the Gunners short of striking options. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been frozen out since being stripped of the captaincy last month, and Alexander Lacazette is out of contract in the summer. Mikel Arteta will only sanction a deal from Kataya if he can bring someone else in. Antonio Conte has addressed those Steven Bergwijn to Ajax rumours at a press conference held before tomorrow's Carabao Cup semi-final second leg against Chelsea. "Honestly, Bergwijn, he knows very well what I think about him," the Italian said. "I consider him a player that can play in all three roles. As of N09 and as of N010. For sure, in my period at Tottenham, he was injured for a long time, but I showed him that, when he's in a good physical condition, I gave him a chance to show he's a good player. For sure, Bergwijn is a Tottenham player, and he's very close to coming back. After the game against Chelsea, he can start having training sessions with us. I count on him. He's a player with different characteristics to Sonny, Lucas, and Harry. He's very good 1v1, he's a creative player that we don't have in our squad." Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is a fan of Leicester midfielder Youri Tielemans, reports suggest. The Gunners are hoping to bolster their midfield ranks this month with numbers depleted by COVID, injuries, Afghan absences and the departure of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. On a recent appearance on the Gunner Talk podcast, CBS journalist Ben Jacobs said, "I do know that Arteta admires Tielemans, so it is just one to watch to see if it gathers pace over the coming 2 or 3 weeks." Jacobs also appeared to rule out a move to Anfield for the Belgian international, adding, "He was speculatively linked with Liverpool a few months back, and there's no truth in that whatsoever." Sead Kolasinac looks to be on his way out of Arsenal. The Press Association report that Marseille are in talks over reuniting the Bosnian fullback with the likes of William Saliba and Matteo Guendouzi at the Stade Velodrome. Kolasinac is out of contract at Arsenal at the end of the season, and it is said that any exit from North London this month will be permanent.